My beloved child, I ask you now, stop everything you're doing. For the next 12 minutes, I, Jesus, will visit you in a way your heart can feel. You may notice a gentle breeze, a quiet warmth, a peace settling deep within your soul. This moment is sacred because I have come to speak to you, to awaken you. I see every tear you've shed in silence, every night you cried alone in the dark. I know the weight of the pain that burdens your body and spirit. You are like a tree in the storm, bending, feeling the wind's rage, but never breaking. Your trials are not my punishment. No, they are the refining fire, shaping you for the good that lies ahead. Yet beware, my child, the enemy whispers lies to you. He plants seeds of doubt, urging you to ignore my voice. Do not listen to him. I am here, and my anger is not against you but against the forces that harm you. I love you beyond measure. Hear me clearly, your time of suffering is not your end but a sacred preparation. I know the pain of betrayal as well as you do. Remember Judas who turned his back on me, and Peter who denied me 3 times. Even I, the Son of God, experienced such heartbreak. Yet, I chose forgiveness, not just for their sake, but for my own heart's freedom. Forgiveness is your key, my child. It is not to excuse the wounds others have caused but to free your soul from chains of bitterness. When you forgive, you unlock the door to healing of your spirit, your body, your life. Nothing can separate you from my love, no mistake, no failure, no sorrow. Let me tell you a story of a daughter who lost her father suddenly. She felt broken, abandoned, drowning in grief. But she opened her heart to me, letting go of anger and pain. Slowly, I healed her wounds, turning her tears into strength and hope. This is the restoration I promise you. Open your heart now. Release the bitterness. Embrace my forgiveness, and prepare to walk into the new life I have prepared for you. I understand the depth of betrayal you carry within your heart. It's a wound that cuts deeper than flesh, often inflicted by those closest to you, family, friends, even those you once trusted without question. This pain feels unbearable, like a heavy chain wrapped tightly around your soul, binding you to anger, resentment, and sorrow. But hear this, forgiveness is not a sign of weakness, nor is it a gift for those who hurt you. Forgiveness is your pathway to freedom. It is the first breath of fresh air after suffocating in the dark. Imagine a prison built not of walls but of unforgiveness, where every memory of pain locks you deeper inside. That prison traps your spirit, dims your light, and steals your peace. But by choosing to forgive, you hold the master key that unlocks every door to your healing. Forgiveness is a courageous act of love, for yourself. It is the moment you declare that your pain will not have the final word. You release the grip bitterness has on your heart, allowing healing to flow in like a gentle river, washing away the debris of hurt and sorrow. Remember, no one is perfect. Those who have wounded you are human, flawed, scared, often broken themselves. Forgiving does not erase the past, but it transforms your future. It lifts the heavy burden you have carried alone and invites peace to settle deeply within. As the floodgates of grace open, you will feel a warmth, a lightness in your spirit. The chains of doubt and fear begin to break, and you will stand taller, stronger, like a tree rooted firmly after a storm. There is profound power in releasing anger. It may not be easy, it may feel like walking through fire. But with each step toward forgiveness, you step closer to wholeness. I see your struggles, the nights you wrestle with bitterness and pain. Yet I assure you, the marks of your scars will one day shine as marks of glory. Your wounds will become testimonies of resilience and divine love. Consider the story of a woman who once lived in the shadow of grief after losing her closest family member. She battled not only loss but the storm of unforgiveness toward those who failed her. Yet in a moment of surrender, she chose to forgive, not for their sake but for her soul's freedom. That choice became her resurrection. Slowly, strength returned to her weary heart, hope replaced despair, and peace, real, lasting peace, embraced her. You too can experience this transformation. You too can be healed and renewed. So open your heart, as painful as it may seem. Release the bitterness and anger, free yourself from the invisible chains. Allow forgiveness to pour into your soul, cleansing and renewing. You are more than your pain. You are more than your past mistakes or the hurts inflicted upon you. You are worthy of healing, worthy of love that never fails. This is the promise awaiting you. If you choose to walk the path of forgiveness and healing, the road to restoration will unfold before your eyes. I understand the weight you carry, the betrayal that feels like a shadow lingering over every joy, every hopeful step forward. It is not easy to forgive when the wounds are so raw, when trust has been shattered and the heart feels shattered along with it. But forgiveness is not about forgetting or excusing what was done to you. It is about choosing to release yourself from the prison of pain. Imagine carrying a heavy burden on your back every day, a burden so heavy that it steals your breath, your peace, your light. Now imagine setting that burden down, letting it fall away like chains breaking loose in the wind. This is what forgiveness offers you, not just relief, but liberation. When you hold on to anger and resentment, it clings like poison, slowly infecting every part of your soul. It dims your hope and clouds your vision for the future. But forgiveness is the antidote. It is a radical act of self-love and courage, the choice to step out of the darkness and into healing. It is not a single moment but a journey, a daily decision to let go of the pain, to soften the heart, and to embrace grace even when it feels impossible. Remember that the people who hurt you are themselves flawed and broken, acting out of fear, ignorance, or pain. Forgiveness does not erase what happened, but it changes the story you tell yourself about it. It transforms you from a victim chained by past wounds into a survivor who stands tall with scars that tell a story of resilience and hope. This transformation is where true healing begins. Consider the story of a woman who lost someone dear, whose heart was torn not only by grief but by bitterness toward those who seemed to have failed her. In her darkest moments, she wrestled with anger and doubt. But then she chose forgiveness, not as a favor to others, but as a gift to herself. This choice unlocked a flood of healing grace, restoring her spirit and bringing light into her darkness. Her story is a testament that healing is possible, even from the deepest wounds. Let this truth sink deep: you are not your pain, and your past does not define your future. When you forgive, you open the door to restoration and renewal. You make room for peace to fill the spaces once occupied by hurt. You invite joy to bloom where despair once reigned. This is the promise waiting for you, a new beginning born from the courage to forgive and heal. Open your heart now, and take that first step toward freedom. Release the bitterness, the anger, the heaviness. Embrace forgiveness as the path that leads you back to yourself, whole, loved, and free. The journey toward forgiveness often feels like walking through a dense fog, uncertain, slow, sometimes painful. But each step forward is a victory, a reclaiming of your power. Holding on to hurt is understandable, it feels like protecting yourself. Yet, in truth, that protection imprisons you, locking your heart behind walls built from fear and bitterness. What if the very thing you think will keep you safe is what's keeping you captive? Forgiveness dismantles those walls, brick by brick. It invites you to stand vulnerable but strong, open yet guarded no more. Deep within you, there is a wellspring of peace waiting to be discovered. But it can only surface when you release the heavy stones of unforgiveness you carry. This release is not forgetting the past, it's choosing not to let it dictate your future. Imagine a river, once blocked by debris of resentment and pain, suddenly breaking free, flowing freely toward a vast ocean of peace and renewal. That river is your spirit, longing to be freed. Forgiveness does not mean you must reconcile with those who have hurt you, nor does it require you to relive your pain. It simply means that you no longer allow your wounds to define your worth or your destiny. You are more than the mistakes others have made against you. You are more than the betrayals you have endured. Your value is intrinsic, your soul radiant and unbreakable. Think of the countless others who have walked this path. Those who faced betrayal, loss, and deep wounds, yet chose to forgive and heal. Their lives were transformed, their spirits renewed. You are not alone in this. When bitterness fades, it makes room for grace, restoration, and hope. This is the promise extended to you now. So, I urge you, do not fear the process of forgiveness. Embrace it as your act of courage and self-love. Let go of the pain that weighs you down and open your heart to the healing that awaits. As you do, you will feel the chains loosen, the burden lighten, and the dawn of a new day break through the darkness. This is your invitation to begin anew, to reclaim your peace, your joy, and your life. The road ahead may be challenging, but it leads to freedom, to restoration, and to a future filled with hope and love. I see the heaviness in your heart, the struggle to forgive when every fiber of your being cries out against it. Forgiveness is not simply an act. It is a profound revolution within your soul. It confronts the darkest parts of your pain, challenging the bitterness that has nested there for so long. It asks you to take a step beyond what is comfortable, beyond what seems fair, and to choose healing over hurt. This choice is the seed from which your restoration will grow. You might wonder, how can I forgive when I still hurt so deeply? How can I release the anger when it feels like my only shield? The truth is, forgiveness doesn't require forgetting or condoning the wrongs done to you. It means deciding that your spirit will no longer be shackled by those wounds. It means taking your pain and handing it over, piece by piece, to a love greater than any hurt you have endured. Consider the nature of forgiveness like the breaking of dawn after the longest night. The darkness doesn't disappear instantly, but slowly, the light seeps in, soft at first, then radiant and unstoppable. Forgiveness works the same way. It may start as a whisper deep inside, a quiet surrender. But over time, it grows into a powerful force that transforms your heart, your mind, your very life. In the midst of your hurt, know this, you are not alone. Many have walked the thorny path of betrayal and loss. They too have faced nights of despair, days filled with questions and doubt. Yet, through the choice to forgive, they discovered freedom. Freedom from the past, freedom to live fully, freedom to love without fear. Your story can be the same. Picture the chains of unforgiveness breaking, the weight falling from your shoulders. Imagine the floodgates of mercy opening, pouring grace into every cracked and weary part of you. This grace is not just a distant promise, it is here now, ready to heal the deepest wounds, to restore what was lost, to renew your spirit. Now is the time to let go. To release the anger, the pain, the need for retribution. To open your heart to peace. To step into a future where your past no longer controls you. This is not weakness, this is strength. This is victory. I feel the weight you carry, the heavy burden of pain and betrayal that threatens to consume your spirit. It is a sorrow that seeps into your very bones, making every day a struggle just to breathe. But within this profound suffering lies the invitation to a deeper healing, one that begins the moment you choose forgiveness. This choice is not a surrender to weakness but a declaration of freedom. Forgiveness is the sacred act of reclaiming your soul from the shadows of bitterness and pain. You may ask, how can one forgive when the wounds are so fresh, when the betrayal feels like a knife twisting in your heart? It is precisely in these moments, when forgiveness seems impossible, that it becomes most powerful. Forgiveness does not demand forgetting or excusing what was done to you, it demands courage, the courage to release your spirit from captivity. It is saying, I refuse to let this pain define me. I choose to break free. Imagine your heart as a garden overrun with weeds of anger, hurt, and resentment. These weeds choke out the flowers of joy, peace, and hope. Forgiveness is the gentle but firm gardener who uproots these weeds, allowing new life to flourish. It is not an instant transformation but a gradual renewal, where every act of forgiveness plants seeds of restoration and grace. There is a story, a true testimony of a man who faced the deepest betrayal from those he loved. For years, bitterness consumed him, leaving him isolated and broken. But one day, he chose forgiveness, not for them, but for his own soul's liberation. As he released his anger, he felt chains fall away, and his heart, once hardened, began to soften. Joy returned, peace settled, and he stepped into a new season of healing and hope. His journey is a beacon for anyone trapped in the cycle of pain. Your pain is real, your suffering valid. But do not let it imprison you. Forgiveness is your key to unlock the door to freedom. It is the pathway from darkness to light, from despair to hope. When you forgive, you do not erase the past, you transform it. You take control of your story and reclaim your destiny. Now, let this truth resonate deep within: you are worthy of healing, worthy of peace, worthy of love unconditionally given. Open your heart to forgiveness, not as a task or duty, but as a gift you give yourself. Let go of the bitterness that holds you back. Step into the light of restoration waiting to embrace you. As you prepare to embrace this transformation, the journey continues into a place of prayer and encouragement, where your spirit will be strengthened and your faith renewed. Are you ready to move forward into that hope? I feel your hesitation, the quiet voice inside that wonders if forgiveness is truly possible. It whispers, how can I release this pain when it feels like a part of me? This question is not a sign of weakness but a reflection of your humanity. Forgiveness is not instant. It is a journey through shadows toward the light. It begins with acknowledging your pain without judgment, giving yourself permission to grieve, and then choosing, moment by moment, to let go of what binds you. Holding on to resentment may feel like strength, but it is a heavy cloak that weighs down your spirit and blinds your heart. Imagine carrying a stone in your hand for years. Each step forward is harder, each breath heavier. Now picture setting that stone down. Feeling the relief, the lightness flooding your being. Forgiveness is that release. It is the courageous act of putting down the weight of bitterness so you can walk freely again. Consider the power of forgiveness as a river carving through rock. It does not erase the stone but reshapes it, softening the edges, creating new paths for life to flow. In the same way, forgiveness transforms your wounds into wells of strength and resilience. It does not deny your suffering but honors it by refusing to let it dictate your future. There was a woman burdened by betrayal, her heart fractured by those she loved most. She wrestled with anger and pain, feeling trapped in a prison of unforgiveness. Yet, one day, she opened the door to mercy, not because the pain vanished, but because she chose to believe in a better tomorrow. That choice unlocked healing. Her story teaches us that forgiveness is not the absence of pain but the presence of peace despite it. You are not alone in this struggle. Many have stood where you stand now, at the crossroads of hurt and healing. Choosing forgiveness is stepping into a sacred space where freedom, peace, and restoration begin. It is a radical act of self-love that honors your worth and opens the door to grace. So now, I invite you to take a breath, soften your heart, and begin this journey. Release the chains of anger and bitterness, knowing that each step toward forgiveness is a step toward your own salvation. Your healing is waiting on the other side of this choice. As your heart prepares to embrace this transformation, we will move forward into a place of prayer and encouragement, a place where your spirit will be lifted, and your faith renewed. Shall we continue? You stand now at a sacred threshold, the place where forgiveness meets healing. It is not an easy passage, for it requires courage to face your deepest wounds and vulnerability to open your heart. Yet, within this crossing lies freedom, the freedom to shed the weight of anger and bitterness that has held you captive for too long. Forgiveness is not about excusing the pain or pretending it never happened. It is about reclaiming your peace and your power, choosing to no longer be defined by the wounds inflicted upon you. As you embrace this truth, know that healing begins the moment you decide to release your burden. It is a journey of small, deliberate steps, each one bringing you closer to restoration and wholeness. Now, as the healing waters begin to flow, imagine your spirit like a garden after a harsh winter, barren but ready to bloom. Forgiveness is the gentle rain nurturing new life within you. It cleanses the soil of your heart, allowing seeds of hope, joy, and renewal to take root. This process may be gradual, and at times you may stumble, but each moment of surrender brings you closer to the radiant light of peace. You are not alone. Countless souls have walked this path before you and emerged stronger, whole, and filled with grace. Let your heart open fully now, releasing every trace of resentment, every shadow of anger. This is your sacred invitation to embrace freedom, to step boldly into a new season of life where your spirit can soar unburdened. Your scars are not signs of defeat but marks of victory, a testimony to your resilience and courage. As you move forward from this place of healing, we step now into a space of prayer and encouragement. Here, you will find strength renewed and faith restored, preparing you for the beautiful journey ahead. Come now, open your heart in prayer. Speak your pain aloud, share your fears, your wounds, your hopes. Let your voice rise like a prayer carried on the wind, reaching beyond the shadows that have clouded your spirit. In this sacred moment, ask for healing, not only for your body but for your soul, your mind, and your life. Invite protection over your health, your finances, your relationships. Feel the presence surrounding you, comforting, guarding, uplifting. Hold tightly to the truth that you are never alone. There is a divine presence walking beside you, whispering words of peace and strength. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness, 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9. These words are not just scripture, they are a promise, a balm for your weary heart. No matter how heavy your burdens, this grace will carry you through. Step forward with faith as your shield and hope as your guide. Trust that each challenge faced is a stepping stone to a brighter tomorrow. The storms may rage, but within you burns a light that cannot be extinguished. You are worthy, you are loved beyond measure, and the best is yet to come. Let these three truths settle deep within your soul. Trials refine but do not define you. Forgiveness frees your spirit. Faith leads you to restoration and peace. Carry these truths like a lamp lighting your path in the darkest nights. Now, take practical steps toward this transformation. Dedicate 5 minutes each day to quiet prayer, an intimate conversation that strengthens your connection and renews your spirit. Begin a forgiveness journal, write the names or hurts you carry, then release them on paper, symbolizing your choice to let go. Surround yourself with reminders of hope, words, music, nature, that uplift your heart. As you close this sacred time together, feel the peace settling within you, the courage rising to meet each new day. You are not alone. You are held, you are cherished, you are empowered to walk forward in victory. Let us pray. May peace flood your soul, may healing touch your heart, and may love surround you always. Amen.